Hello! A very warm welcome back to Money Talks, everyone, the podcast where we, as always, are going to make money matters feel fun and easy to understand. Have you ever been in this situation? You're scrolling through social media or chatting with friends, and you hear phrases like playing the market, or you should buy this stock, or my portfolio is all green today, and instantly a giant question mark pops into your head. What are they even talking about? It can feel like such a distant, unrelatable world, can it? Almost like a secret language that only business experts or really wealthy people get to speak. Some of us might even feel a little bit scared by it, maybe because of a news story we heard about someone losing everything in a stock market crash, or just from seeing all those confusing charts with red and green lines flying everywhere. Well, I want to tell you that feeling is completely normal, and you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you that stocks are actually one of the single best tools for building long-term wealth, and that they are accessible to everyday people just like you and me? Today, our mission is to decode the world of stocks. We're going to put aside all the complicated graphs and confusing jargon for now. Instead, we're going to get right to the heart of what a stock really is, in the simplest way possible, just like two friends chatting. We'll cover what they are and what absolute beginners need to know to step into this world with confidence instead of fear. If you're ready to turn something that seems intimidating into something that's actually exciting and much closer to home than you think, then let's get started. All right, let's start with the most fundamental question that a lot of people are still curious about. What exactly is a stock? If I had to boil it down to one simple sentence, it would be this: a stock is simply a small piece of ownership in a business. That's it. It's a certificate that proves you are a co-owner of that company. That might still sound a little abstract, right? No problem at all. Let me tell you a little story instead. Imagine there's a wonderful coffee shop that we both absolutely love. Let's call it Money Talks Coffee. The coffee is incredible, the pastries are to die for, and the atmosphere is just perfect. It's so popular that business is booming. One day, the owner thinks, I want to expand and open branches all over the country. The only problem is she doesn't have enough money to do it all by herself. So, she gets a brilliant idea. She decides to take her entire business, Money Talks Coffee, and divide it into 1,000 tiny, equal pieces. Then she makes an announcement. I'm offering everyone who loves this coffee shop the chance to become a co-owner with me by buying one of these small pieces of my business. Those tiny little pieces she's selling, that is exactly what a stock or a share is. Now, you, being a huge fan of the shop, hear this news and get incredibly excited. Wow, I have the chance to actually own a piece of my favorite coffee shop? So you take some of your savings and you buy one share. The moment you pay for it and receive that share, you get a brand new title. You are now a shareholder. And to put it in the simplest, friendliest terms, that just means you are now a partner or a co-owner of Money Talks Coffee. Even if it's just one share out of 1,000, it represents real ownership. Okay, so the next logical question is, now that you're a part owner, what do you get in return? Well, there are two main ways you can be rewarded. First way, capital gains. Let's say Money Talks Coffee takes the money from you and all the other new shareholders and successfully expands. The new branches are a huge hit, the shop gets amazing reviews online, and profits are growing year after year. Naturally, as the business becomes more successful, the total value of the entire company goes up, right? This means that the little piece of ownership, your share, also becomes more valuable. Maybe you bought it for $100, but now that the company is so successful, other people really want to buy it from you, and they're willing to pay $150 for it. If you decide to sell your share, that $50 profit you make is what we call a capital gain. Second way, dividends. At the end of a very profitable year, the owner might decide, as a thank you to all my partners who believed and supported this business, let's share some of our profits with them. That portion of the profits that gets distributed is called a dividend. It's like a special bonus you receive just for being a co-owner. It's usually paid out based on how many shares you own. The more shares you have, the bigger your dividend check. It's a really lovely thing, isn't it? It's like you invested in a good business and the business is sharing its success right back with you. See? When you break it down, the concept of a stock isn't so scary or complicated at all. It's really just about becoming a part owner in a business you like and believe in. So now that we know what a stock is, the next question is, where do we go to buy a share of Money Talks Coffee or any other company? We'll find out the answer to that in our next section.
In the last section, we learned that a stock is just a small piece of ownership in our dream business, Money Talks Coffee. So now that we have our savings ready and we've made the firm decision, I am going to become an owner of this coffee shop, the next very important question is, where do we actually go to buy it? Can we just walk up to the company's headquarters, knock on the door, and say, "Hi, I'd like to buy 1 share, please?" The answer is not quite. We have to go to a central place that was specifically created for the buying and selling of stocks. That place is called the stock market, or more formally, the stock exchange. Now, if the term stock market sounds big, intimidating, and a little bit scary, let's try to picture it another way. I want you to imagine that the stock market is just a gigantic, massive supermarket, the biggest one you can possibly imagine. Inside the supermarket, instead of aisles filled with fruits, vegetables, and snacks, the shelves are filled with the stocks of all the biggest and best-known companies in the country. There's an aisle for energy, where you might find shares of the gas station you fill up at. There's an aisle for banking, with shares of the bank you use every day. There's a retail aisle with shares of the convenience store on your corner, and even a travel aisle, where you can find shares of the airport or the airline you fly with. All the investors, which is just a fancy word for people like you and me, come to this giant supermarket to go shopping. If you're interested in owning a piece of a certain business, you go here to buy its stock. And if you already own a stock and want to sell it to someone else, you also bring it here to put it on the shelf for sale. So what about the price of each stock? How is that decided? Well, it works on the exact same principle as the produce at a farmer's market. Have you ever noticed how when lemons are in season and there are tons of them everywhere, the price goes way down? But during a drought, when lemons are scarce and everyone wants them for their recipes, the price shoots way up. Stocks are exactly the same. If a lot of people want to buy a certain stock, but very few people want to sell it, the price goes up. On the other hand, if everyone is trying to sell a stock and not many people want to buy it, the price goes down. It's all based on the simple principles of supply and demand. Okay, now for the most important question. How do we get inside this giant supermarket to do our shopping? As I mentioned, we can't just walk in by ourselves. We need a special assistant or a middleman who has a license to go in and buy and sell on our behalf. This very important assistant is called a brokerage firm, or more simply, a broker. Think of a broker as your own personal shopper for the stock market. All you have to do is tell them what you want to buy or sell, how many shares, and at what price. Then your broker takes your order and executes it for you in the market automatically. So the very first step you need to take is to open a brokerage account. There are many brokers to choose from these days, and most of them are part of the big familiar banks you already know. And the good news is, opening an account today is incredibly easy. You can do almost the entire process online, which is so much more convenient than it used to be. Once your account is approved, the broker will give you a username and password. You'll use these to log in to their trading application or trading app right on your phone. The app will look very similar to your mobile banking app, but instead of buttons for transfer money, you'll see big buttons that say buy and sell. It's incredibly simple and convenient.
All right, so now we know what a stock is, and we know where we can go to buy one. This brings us to what is arguably the most important part of all. What kind of mindset should we have when we're just starting out? You might think that to invest in stocks, you need to be a math whiz or an expert at reading charts. But honestly, for a beginner, having the right mindset is so much more important than any complex technical skill. It's like installing the right operating system in our minds first, so we can handle whatever the world of investing throws at us with confidence. Today, I have 3 essential rules to share with you. Rule number 1, invest in what you know. This is a classic piece of advice from the legendary investor Warren Buffett, and it is as true today as it has ever been. When you're thinking about buying a stock, don't buy it just because a friend said it was good or because you saw a bunch of people on social media getting excited about it, or because its price is shooting up for no reason you can understand. I want you to completely reframe your thinking here. You are buying a piece of a business, not just a piece of paper or a 3-letter ticker symbol. Before you hit that buy button on your app, take a moment and ask yourself a few simple questions. What does this company actually do? Is their product or service genuinely useful to people? And do I truly believe that this business will still be around and growing in 5 or 10 years? If you can answer those questions, you'll feel like a true owner of that business. You'll understand it, and you'll have the confidence to hold on to it for the long run, without getting scared by every little piece of daily news. Rule number 2, think long term. Listen, everyone, the stock market is incredibly volatile in the short term. It's a lot like the ocean. Some days it's calm and peaceful, and other days the waves are crashing violently. If you spend all your time and energy focused on every little wave that comes and goes each day, you're going to get seasick and will probably jump out of the boat before you ever reach your destination. I want you to think of investing in stocks like this. It's about planting a tree, not growing bean sprouts. Sure, bean sprouts grow in just a few days and you can harvest them quickly, but the reward is small, isn't it? But planting a big tree, that takes time. You have to be patient, water it, and care for it. Some days there will be storms, but if you believe in that tree and you nurture it, in 5 or 10 years, it will grow into a strong, magnificent tree that gives you shade and bears fruit for many, many years to come. Investing is just like that. We have to give the businesses we invest in the time they need to truly grow. And now we come to our final rule, which is absolutely critical for managing risk. It's the classic investment proverb that I'm sure you've all heard before. Imagine you have 10 eggs, and you put them all into just one basket. If you accidentally trip and drop that basket, what happens? All of your eggs might break, right? Investing is the same. Don't pour all the money you have into the stock of a single company, no matter how much you love that company or believe in it. Nothing is 100% certain in the business world. If something unexpected happens to that one company, your entire investment could be in serious trouble. The best approach is to diversify, which is a fancy word for spreading your risk. Put your eggs into several different baskets. Maybe you buy a few shares in a retail company, a few in a healthcare company, and a few in an energy company. Doing this makes your overall investment portfolio so much stronger. Even if something happens to one basket, you still have your other eggs safe and sound in the other baskets. And for absolute beginners who might not know how to pick all those different stocks, the great news is there's a wonderful tool called a mutual fund, which is like a pre-made basket that's already been perfectly diversified for you. And maybe we can talk all about that in a future episode.
And that brings us to the end of our first steps into the world of stocks. How is everyone feeling? I hope it feels a lot more approachable and easier to understand than before. Let's recap one last time, just so it sticks.
A stock is simply a piece of ownership in a business you believe in. The stock market is the giant supermarket where we go to buy and sell that ownership. And the most important rules for any beginner are the three we just discussed. Invest in businesses you know and understand. Think long term, like you're planting a tree, and always remember to diversify. Investing might seem intimidating at first when we feel like we don't know enough, but as you begin to understand its core ideas, you realize that it's much more logical and approachable than you might have thought. Today, we've gotten that first, most important button right. I hope you all are feeling a little less scared and a lot more excited to learn. Of course, this is just the beginning. There are so many more exciting things to learn in the world of investing. In future episodes, maybe we can dive deeper into the step-by-step process of opening a brokerage account, or talk more about those mutual funds I just mentioned and why they're such a great tool for beginners. You'll just have to tune in to find out. But for today, that's all the time we have here on Money Talks. I'm wishing you all the best and a lot of fun as you begin to learn and grow on your path to financial security. Until next time, goodbye for now.